Would you like a few tips on how to quickly improve your photography? In this short video, we'll look at 7 simple ideas to help you develop skills from this day forward. As I'm sure you'll know, photography is a massive subject, but it's also very rewarding and well worth the effort. This knowledge and how you can use it will help you improve no matter what camera you have, and that includes smartphones. Also, if you stay to the end, I'll share a couple of bonuses with you, and any links I mention will be in the description below. First up, use whatever camera, equipment or phone you already have. All too often, beginners think that a better camera helps to get better photos, and that's simply not true. Yeah, professional cameras have more features, bigger sensors and more megapixels, but whatever camera or smartphone you already have is absolutely fine, especially when starting out. You can definitely learn to be a better photographer with whatever gear you have now. And doing what you're doing now, investing time and effort into learning, is far better than going out and spending a fortune on a new camera. Which brings us to the second point. Learning the basics of composition with any type of camera and getting better at it will improve your photography no end. There are several methods and types of composition, but I would recommend learning the rule of thirds first. Briefly, the rule of thirds means that the scene you're photographing is divided up by imaginary lines, both horizontally and vertically. Placing people, objects or horizons on these lines produces a more engaging composition. And the good news is we don't have to imagine these lines. Most modern cameras and definitely phones can have this grid overlay on the screen. And this helps us place elements correctly in the frame. If you'd like to learn more about the rule of thirds, I have another video on this channel about that. Another issue my students talk about is getting confused by jargon. I've already been guilty of using jargon, such as megapixels, composition and sensor. But what about f-stop, shutter speed, focal length, ISO, just to name a few? There's no doubt if you do yourself a massive favour if you can learn the basic terminology as soon as you can. And to help you with this, I have a free PDF you can download to get you started. Another skill many of my students wish they'd learned earlier is taking control of their camera. In other words, get off auto. Most of the time, auto mode is adequate, but if you really want to improve your photography, I would encourage you to learn to shoot in manual mode, or at least semi-automatic, as soon as possible. I still remember the thought of shooting in manual mode is very daunting, but trust me, it is well worth the time and effort. Being able to control your camera settings is liberating and gives you the ability to be far more creative, using techniques such as backlighting, light painting, panning, getting action shots, just to name a few. So you might be wondering what some or all of these techniques are, and that brings us on to the next point. Aperture, depth of field, shutter speed, exposure triangle, so on. The sooner you can get a good grasp of these basic principles, the better, and I have other videos on this channel to help you out. So once you start using these basic techniques, are you always going to get it right in camera? Probably not. So my next tip would be, learn the basic editing process. There's no doubt that some of my students have found it difficult using computers. They just want to take better photographs, and I get that. But it's important to realise that in this digital age, having a basic understanding of how to use some type of editing software is essential. Your pictures can be enhanced tenfold by knowing how to apply some basic editing techniques and using a structured workflow, whether that's on your phone, tablet or computer. Taking the photograph is one thing, but post-processing will definitely get you better results and give you the option to apply your own personal preferences. Being able to apply basic corrections such as cropping, adding a bit of contrast, enhancing colours, and maybe converting to black and white is more than enough to get you started. Now the next tip is not particularly glamorous, but in my opinion essential, and that is, learn how to use your camera. What I'm saying here is read your camera manual or get a dummy's guide to your particular camera or smartphone. See, I told you it wasn't glamorous. But the point is, knowing what functions your camera has, where all the buttons and dials are, and how to use them, could be the difference between getting or missing the shot. I'm not saying you've got to know the ins and outs of how your camera works from a technical point of view, only how to use it to get the pictures you want. So to quickly recap, use whatever equipment or camera you already have. Learn the basics of composition, such as the rule of thirds. Learn the basic language of photography. Learning to shoot in manual mode is absolutely worth the effort, and you'll never look back. As with any skill, Having a good grasp of the basics will reward you in the long run. Just stick with it. Editing is an integral part of digital photography. Again, stick with it. If you can get to the point where you can alter settings without thinking, then you've nailed it. And then you can concentrate far more on the creative aspect and getting the pictures you want. And before I get into those bonuses I promised you, if you got something from this video, I really would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you'd like more help with your photography, why not subscribe? Click the bell icon to get notified of when I add new content. It really does help, so thank you. So now those bonus tips. In my experience, us photographers are the worst when it comes to practicing. Musicians, sports people, actors, etc. all practice and rehearse their craft on a daily basis. We should aim to practice any new techniques we learn over and over in any given situation until we master them. If we're not having fun, we're doing something wrong. And if it ever becomes a chore, then why do it? Photography is a lifelong pursuit. It's the journey, not the destination. So enjoy the journey. And another little bonus, if you'd like a free copy of my ebook, The 3 Essential Pillars of Good Photography, I've added a link to that in the description below. So what do you struggle with? What techniques or knowledge do you wish you'd have known earlier? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you'd like me to cover anything specific in future, let me know and I'll do my best. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching and take care.